If you are over the age of 60, you are currently standing at a dangerous crossroads where the habits that made you successful are now the very things threatening to steal your remaining years of vitality. You have spent decades building a fortress of security, yet most of you are living like prisoners inside of it, paralyzed by a someday mentality that is statistically unlikely to ever arrive. We are going to dismantle the polite lies about aging and retirement that keep you playing small, safe, and ultimately bored out of your mind. It is time to stop preparing for a life you are already living and start making the radical shifts required to reclaim your independence before the clock runs out. Number 1. Stop being a safety addict. The greatest irony of reaching your 60s is that the caution which helped you build a nest egg has now become a psychological weight around your neck. You have been conditioned for decades to prioritize just in case over right now, leading to a form of financial hoarding that serves no one, least of all your own spirit. This addiction to safety creates a mental prison where you stare at rising numbers on a screen while your physical ability to explore slowly diminishes with every passing season. By refusing to let go of the accumulation phase mindset, you are essentially choosing a life of scarcity in the midst of your own abundance. We see too many people over 60 living like paupers because they're terrified of a hypothetical crisis that their current wealth could already easily solve. This constant bracing for impact turns your hard-earned retirement into a high-end waiting room rather than a period of grand adventure. You must realize that at this stage of life, the biggest risk to your legacy and happiness isn't a loss of money, but a loss of time. Number 2. Stop acting your age. Society hands you a quiet script at 60 that demands you fade into the background and dress for a decline that hasn't actually happened yet. When you make choices based on what is appropriate for a senior citizen, you are effectively volunteering for a premature social death and adopting the limitations of those who have given up. There is no biological rule stating you must trade your passions for sedentary hobbies or stop seeking adrenaline just because of a number on a birth certificate. You must stop seeking external validation for how you spend your energy and start listening to the internal fire suppressed by decades of career and family obligations. This is your era of total autonomy, where you should be taking risks and voicing opinions that you previously stifled for the sake of your professional reputation. If your newfound zest for life isn't shocking people at least a little bit, you are likely still living by someone else's outdated and boring rules. Number 3. Stop being the family safety net. One of the most silent killers of retirement freedom is the habit of serving as a permanent financial and emotional shock absorber for your adult children. While your paternal instincts are powerful, constantly bailing out capable adults prevents them from developing their own resilience while simultaneously draining the resources you need for your own independence. You have already done the heavy lifting of parenting, and continuing to subsidize their lifestyle choices often funds their stagnation at the expense of your own adventures. It is time to realize that saying no is not an act of selfishness, but a necessary boundary that allows you to live fully and forces them to grow. By stepping back from the role of the family ATM or the on-call crisis manager, you reclaim your time and ensure that your legacy is one of strength rather than one of enabling dependency. Number 4. Stop living in waiting room mode. The most dangerous delusion of the retirement years is the belief that life is something that begins after you reach a specific milestone or solve every minor problem. Many people over 60 spend their days in a psychological waiting room, holding their breath for the perfect health report, the right market conditions, or for family drama to magically subside. This chronic delay of gratification is a habit carried over from your working years, but now it serves only to waste the finite window of time where you still possess both your health and your wealth. You must stop waiting for the stars to align and realize that the messy, imperfect present is the only stage you will ever have to perform on. Every day you spend waiting for the right time is a day you have effectively surrendered to the void of a future that is never guaranteed to arrive. Number 5. Stop renting out your brain. Your mental clarity is the most valuable currency you possess, yet many people over 60 spend it freely on a 24-hour news cycle designed to keep them in a state of perpetual outrage. When you allow your mood to be dictated by political doom scrolling or global crises you cannot control, you are effectively renting out your brain to corporate interests that profit from your anxiety. This constant bombardment of negativity creates a false sense of urgency and fear that keeps you small, safe, and disconnected from the beauty of your immediate surroundings. You must reclaim your attention and intentionally curate what you allow into your mind, prioritizing local connection and personal growth over global noise. High-level independence requires a calm, focused mind that is not constantly being hijacked by the latest digital catastrophe or sensationalized headline. Number 6. Stop treating your body like an old car. Most people view physical aging as an inevitable slide into obsolescence, treating their bodies like an old vehicle that only needs basic maintenance to keep from breaking down. This preservation mindset is a trap that leads to the very frailty you fear. The body at 60 requires high-performance input, not just a gentle coast into the sunset. You must stop making excuses for declining energy and start demanding more from your physical self through intentional strength training and aggressive nutrition. If you treat your health as a chore rather than an investment in your freedom, you are essentially pre-ordering a wheelchair for your future. Vitality is not a gift of youth, but a result of refusing to accept the narrative of slowing down as a mandatory part of the human experience. Number 7. Stop apologizing for your success. Many people entering their 60s carry a subtle, subconscious guilt about their financial success, often downplaying their wealth to avoid appearing flashy or out of touch. This habit of apologizing for your achievement forces you to live a diluted version of your life, where you deny yourself the very rewards you spent decades of sacrifice to earn. You must stop feeling the need to justify your spending to friends, neighbors, or even your own adult children who may not understand the effort behind your accumulation. Owning your success means recognizing that you have paid your dues to society and the economy, and you are now entitled to the premium experiences you desire. By shedding this unnecessary shame, you unlock a level of psychological freedom that allows you to enjoy your resources without looking over your shoulder for approval. Number 8. Stop saying yes to nice people. The most subtle thief of your retirement is the politeness trap, where you spend your limited time fulfilling requests for people you don't even particularly like. You have spent a lifetime being a team player, a helpful neighbor, and a reliable volunteer, but at 60, your yes has a much higher opportunity cost than it did at 30. You must stop feeling obligated to attend every social event, join every committee, or listen to the complaints of toxic acquaintances just to avoid being seen as difficult. Every hour you give to a mediocre social obligation is an hour you steal from your own curiosity, rest, or genuine connection with those who truly matter. Learning to say no with a smile and without a long-winded explanation is the ultimate power move that protects your schedule from the clutter of other people's agendas. Number 9. Stop planning for a future that doesn't exist. The final psychological hurdle to clear after 60 is the habit of building elaborate 10-year plans while ignoring the reality that your most energetic years are happening right now. Many retirees become obsessed with legacy planning and estate taxes, essentially living their lives for heirs who haven't yet earned the right to that wealth. You must stop deferring your biggest dreams to a hypothetical future where you might be older, frailer, and less capable of enjoying them. The true metric of a successful retirement isn't the size of the inheritance you leave behind, but the richness of the experiences you squeezed out of your remaining time. If you are still prioritizing a someday that exists only on paper, you are missing the only version of life that actually matters, the one happening this very second. The transition into your 60s is not a slow fade into the sunset. It is your final opportunity to seize the steering wheel and drive toward the life you were always meant to lead. You have the tools, the wisdom, and the resources to redefine what it means to be truly independent, but only if you have the courage to stop living by the outdated rules of your past. Every habit we've discussed today is a chain you can choose to break, allowing you to trade fear and obligation for a future defined by genuine joy and radical autonomy. Do not let the comfort of a safe life rob you of a great one, because the world does not need more cautious retirees. It needs more people who are fully, unapologetically alive. Take the first step today by choosing one stop from this list and reclaiming your freedom, because you have earned the right to live for yourself.